welcome. And I'm very aware that I'm the only thing in between you guys who have been sitting here all day and some air, fresh drinks, and sunny experiences. So I'll try to make it worth your while. It's a bit strange standing here today, as many of you Norwegian at least might understand in the situation we are in with current negotiations. But I'll try keeping my mind up here now, and it probably will be good with a break as well. So the future of TV, innovating with AndroidTV, what is that really about? I think I want to start with what we've been through the last couple of years. When you talk about pay TV, it's really about money, customers, it's about technology, it's about content, it's about people, and it's about having fun. But most of all, it's about the consumers and the way they change, the way they interact with us, what they need, really deeply how they want us to be, and trying to figure out how we can win their hearts, how we can win their TV experiences. Because TV is really about the afternoon when you come home, kids playing around, a lot of stress, finish with work, and you want to sit down and relax, and you want to enjoy the rest of your evening. It's about killing that head, that mind, and getting an experience, something that really matters. And I think that is the core purpose of why we are here. So we've been on a journey from traditional DTH provider in 2014, and I think some of the people in the audience will be mad at me for showing 2014, but come on, let's be truthful. We played around with games, we played around with picture-in-picture, we played around with movie rentals, but really that was when the journey all began. We started innovating with all of the TV Everywhere devices, Apple TV. We were first out in the Nordics with a truly app aggregating live on demand in a seamless universe, with all these small phones, tablets. And you know what's going to happen in your organization when you start working with these things? The engagement and the enthusiasm goes up, because it's so much easier to work with these building blocks than it is with working with this set-top box. So the company started working agile, people were more engaged, you saw all of the innovation, speed, capacity, mindset, what we wanted to achieve, and you saw things happening. We could launch things 50, 60 times a year, while on the old traditional set-top box we have like 1 to 2 upgrades. And every time we get a new software, you need to test it over and over and over and over again. So we got this big gap between launching all of these devices, and we needed to do something with the set-top box. So let's come back to that later, but that's what all AndroidTV is all about. Then we figure out we need to get the customers to understand we're something else, because going from a linear zapping experience to really enabling all the content, the entire universe in a seamless experience across live, on-demand, weekly archive, and sports, then we needed to do something about how the customers perceive us. So we talked about we're changing, we're going to be the ones who are going to aggregate everything into one universe, because we know the customers are sick and tired of having to navigate in and out of all different apps. So if we can solve that fundamental problem of people using all of the time searching for the right content to watch, utilizing technology, personal recommendations, data, innovative platforms, then we really crack the code to being the customer's best buddy. So we talked about to the consumers that we're all about being all in one place, aggregating all content in one place. We're all about making ourselves relevant and making data become true in recommendation engines and other parts, and also, of course, being easy. Then we figure out that if you really want to change, you have to also change what you offer. We need to change from having only direct linear channels to having all the archive, to having the customers being able to binge watch. So what we did was talking to our partners like Fox, Disney, and BBC and others, and saying, hey, we need to change our offering. We want to do it together with you guys, because we need to ensure that when the customers are shifting, like Bjarne André said, from live to on-demand, we need to be part of that journey, and we need to fuel that together with our innovation in technology and user experience. So we did a major shift, and I'm going to show you later what our content offering is like, and we're really proud to be able to offer such a strong offering to the consumers. And then the final stage is what we recently launched in March, or maybe the new beginning, was the OnePlace box. And yes, it is a set-top box. And yes, we do believe that people need to have something in front of the TV to get the big screen to work in the way they want to, and we believe that there will be much more innovation with Android TV going forward, and we'll talk about that coming later. So most of my part, I'm going to talk about this, but first we need to understand the content and the offering and what we actually offer our consumers. So what we've done is we basically aggregated all channel that's live on DTH. We've also aggregated those over IP. We're taking the weekly archive from the most important channels for the consumers and taken all of those 7 days into our product. We've taken current season TV of the most popular shows because we know that 7 days is really good for lean back content. But if you want to binge watch, you might miss out on the first episodes. You need to not only have what happened last week, but you have to have the first episode. My user experience on that is I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. Yes, that's my guilty pleasure. And often I hear about, oh, it started again. And then they're on episode 3, but I need the episode 1 and 2. So you need to be able to go back. So having current season is really something that's unique for us as a distributor because we can kind of close the gap between the archive and what's on live. Then we have the strong offering with series and movies, and not the least the kids' content. And top it up, the sports offering is really unique, having the ability to really take all the sports from the different broadcasters and putting it together in one place and really experiment with the user experience and how you can get that to the customers. So with 28,000 titles and a refresh rate that's tremendously high, people are really taking on to this new service. And I think Jon Espen told you earlier on today that we have really high recurring rate of people coming back to our service daily. So we know that it's really sticky and that people, so we've kind of proven the point that we figured out that people want someone to aggregate. Doing that, we know that it's sticky and that people like it. So the journey we've been on is something we're really proud of, but we couldn't stop there. Because we knew that big screen is important. We knew that when you want to watch long form, as Bjørn André said, big screen is back. No, big screen never left. But you know what, these apps, they were so difficult accessible on the big screen. So big screen has always been the platform that people prefer in order to watch long form content. They just wanted to watch long form content in a different way than watching it live. So being able to take all the on-demand content and really enable it to come true on the big screen has been a really key success factor for us until now, and it will also be that going forward. So OnePlace, I guess some of you have already heard of it, was our new Android TV platform that we launched in March. And let me give you some examples of what this is all about. First of all, it's about making stuff easier for the consumers when they watch TV. We've blended all of the live, the on-demand, the weekly archive, everything in an interface where you can easily access content in one simple click. You don't have to search, you don't have to go that far into your details, into your recordings, into your on-demand, into your apps to search. We've basically just lifted them one level up. The other thing we've done is that you have all the traditional live recordings, everything you expect from a pay TV operator. And I think we're one of the first who've done such a fully product on the Android TV platform. And I know that Google is saying that we're first in Europe with a DTH Android TV platform that's full-fledged. We've taken their App Store, Google App Store, with 3,200 Android TV apps, integrated it really close into our experience. Chromecast, of course, works flawless, so you can use your phone and cast your pictures, you can cast your other media apps that you miss out and want to watch, HBO, which are currently not on Android TV but are coming soon, etc. We've worked with personal editorial recommendation. Yes, artificial intelligence. Yes, machine learning. Yes, all of those technology trends are really, really crucial to make a personal experience. But you also need to balance that with what's local, because people want to watch what's local, and you wouldn't always notice the content if someone didn't show you and say, hey, you should be watching this, which are also trending in the market. And not at least, we have integrated Google's features like voice search, which is a truly costly, very difficult feature to implement. If you want to do it yourself, on Android TV it's out of the box, and you just integrate it with your backend and your metadata, and you get a pretty cool experience, even though you might feel a bit stupid the first time you talk to the TV. It's a really much simpler way to search than having to dot all the numbers and letters on that screen. So all in all, it's a platform that, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but I'll try it anyway. All in all, it's a platform. It's a TV box. It's a Chromecast, and it's a Apple-ish TV device all in one box. And for the consumers, that is all about winning the HDMI 1 battle. And we see the data coming in now, and it's going to be very interesting starting to crunching that data together with all of our other data to see how the consumers are using this product. So why are we talking about this? Why are we making a number of working with Android TV? What do we believe in? We believe that this transition on the platform, on the TV side, will be the same as what happened on the phones. You had Nokia with their Symbian phone, you had all the different handset vendors with their operating system. Then Apple and Google came, and they basically made an innovation platform for partners. So the app developers had a much easier time in developing their apps and getting a broad distribution. So what Google is doing with Android TV is that they're putting it into the game consoles, like NVIDIA Shield. They're putting it into the smart TVs. They're putting it into the Nexus boxes and pucks and different devices. And they're putting it into the set-top boxes. And in doing that, they will pretty fast get a tremendous amount of boxes out there that runs on Android TV. And that creates the universe where all the app developers want to create cool new features apps for that platform. The other thing we think is that for us as a pay TV operator, having to do so much fun and innovating so fast on TV everywhere, while sitting behind on proprietary platforms that we do on our set-top boxes, that's only going to hurt us when we're fighting towards the major players in the world. So you really need to get that innovation speed. So I'm not talking about this, so yeah, I think it's cool. The reason we're here talking about it is, come on guys, you need to understand this and come on board. Because the more people we are, the more pay TV operators we are who choose to say, okay, yes, they're Google, it's a bit scary, but we need to find our strength, which is local, the content, understanding of the consumers, the ability to package and to sell the packages to the consumers, with the global players, their ability to do technology development. And I know there are a lot of tech people here who think it's cool making things themselves, but you're so much cooler if you're able to figure out that you can take technology out there and utilize that as your machine to innovate further. So at least that's a thanks to our tech guys. So what did we experience? I know the CTO is in the audience of Canal Digital, and he said I was allowed to say that this product was half the price in development to our prior platform project. Okay? Yes, it was hard work, but it was mostly about platform and integration work. We had all of our components. We had the on-demand platform from the TV Everywhere service. We had the recommendation engine, we had the metadata deliverables, we had the satellite transmission, we had our backend system. We just had to put all of those pieces together with the Android TV and need to get it working on the box. And normally, I can get a bit frustrated sometimes on the tech team because I might want to upgrade and say, hey, we're changing the number to our customer service. Oh, we have to open up the code on the old legacy boxes. Someone have to go in, open everything. That's going to cost you a lot. And that person need to hard code, and we really need to test thoroughly for many, many weeks. I'm going a little bit over, but just so you understand. And then you're allowed to launch it to the market. Well, on this platform, I can snap my fingers and it will be done in a matter of minutes. We've gone from basically 1 to 2 upgrades every year on the traditional set-top box, costly, to we're aiming at every 2 weeks. I think we're running on every month right now, but we're aiming on every 2 weeks, and we think that's possible. So if you're able to upgrade and work in an agile way with your main TV product for the big screen, which the consumers prefer to watch content, then you're in a position to win. And not the least, we've experienced that Google is really not, we had some discussion before we went into this. Are they kind of the big fluffy bear that you want to hug, or are they the bulldog that's just going to wait and say, thank you, boof, right? Our experience so far is that they're really easy to talk to. We talk to them about our needs, how we think we need to do this in PayT. We talk to them about, could we change the buttons in your guidelines on the remote control? How can we do that? And they've been very willing to listen. They've been very willing to change. And we really believe and experience that they want us as PayTV operators part of their journey, because they see that if we succeed, they will succeed. And we've used their guidelines. So basically, if you go in and navigate in our app now, and then you switch to another app, if you go into the NRK app, or if you go into another app, you will feel you're in the same universe. Because using their guidelines, all the app developers using this, so it's much easier. So even my mom, I'm sorry, Mom, can come home, watch the kids, click on the remote, and I didn't have to tell her or teach her anything. I was so happy that day. Because this is not hard, it's really easy. So what's next? What's next? The sky is the limit. Jon Espen told you earlier about digital advertising. Of course, if you're playing around with Android TV, how hard do you think it's going to be integrating personal advertising into this platform? I think it's going to work. New services, yes. We're constantly working with new services. Right now, we're trying to balance and all the TV Everywhere stuff with the Android TV stuff. But absolutely, we believe that there's tons of opportunities going out there. We saw instantly after launch that new kind of partners came and said, cool, what can we do with pictures and photos? We are making this cool new little app. Could we play with you guys? Because we think if we integrate that in a cool way, these things could kind of really play together. Games. There's a huge game universe. And do you think you're going to play around on a Android TV when you can use your Switch, or when you can use your PlayStation or NVIDIA Shield? Yeah, we see people do that because it's so easy. It's just connected and you can start playing. So all kind of game console controls easily connect. And for the kids at least, it's a really easy thing talking to them, say, do you want to watch kids content, or do you want to play around for half an hour before we go to bed? Voice control, You've all seen what Google is working on with Google Home, Google Assist. Yes, we started with an easy implementation where you can just say Kardashians and then you can see what's on live, what's on catch-up, what's going to be airing soon so you can record it and everything in one place. But of course you can easily see that soon you can say, I'm in the kitchen, cooking, the kids are running around, and I can say, hey Google, can you please turn on the TV and let my kids watch children's content? Yes. Or, Google, please tell my husband that I don't want him to watch soccer anymore, that he can go to another place, or whatever you want to do, right? So voice is really something that we think is going to be interesting, developing, experimenting, and I think it's so cool to see our employees kind of grasping opportunities and playing around with stuff in a different way than they did before. Smart home, yes, of course, it's an opportunity. The mind of a business person start thinking, how can we disrupt others with this platform? Because it's not only a TV, it's not a TV box. It's a platform. It's a technology platform. It's a hub. It's something you can play around with. What can we use it for? Google Nest is on it. Can we use that? How can we use that? What about Google Assist? How can we kind of use that? NVIDIA Shield created the spots where you can turn on and off lights. Are there other things with our capabilities that we now have that we can turn into? Playing around with minds. We'll see when we get a little bit more closer to where we want to be, what we want to do. And of course, music, it's a completely different universe where you can add music services easily in a completely different way. So I think all in all, we feel at least that from sitting in the back seat of a car, we've been putting ourselves in the front seat. Yes, we have the hands on the wheel. We know Google is there having a hand as well, so we're going to look at them and make sure what they're doing. All in all, I think we're in a winning platform and an ability to create new and exciting innovations going forward. And the most important thing, making our customers the winners. Thank you so much. I think that's all for now.
Many thanks. So, any questions out of the audience? At least at the end of the session?
I guess you want to go on, right?
I would have a question. As you say, now you're much more active. You can develop features in a much more short time. How do you prioritize what you're going to do? Do you have special hubs? Do you have new people on board? I think it's a complete change as well in the strategy and types of people.
It's absolutely a very different strategy, and I can tell you that we had some rounds with our management team before we said let's do it, and it is a different game when it comes to employees as well. We see that it's easier to recruit now when you can talk about this, which is good, and people want to work with us. And when it comes to prioritization, I'm not sure if my CTO can close his ears, I can say what I want to. It's a constant prioritization of everything we do, but we have kind of strict routines, and it's about what's happening in the market, what's our customers experiencing, what are the feedback. Right now, yes, we have some stuff to fix, so that has the first priority. But being able to tell the customers that, hey, we know there's some challenges, we're going to fix it in a couple of weeks, that's kind of a totally different ball game. And then we just, all of this, which I want to start with immediately, we will take things one step at a time. But for sure, customers is the #1 when it comes to prioritization.
Understand. Any input from your side, guys? I've heard that, for example, Sky is as well focusing on building digitalization hubs, so innovation hubs, and as well, if you see at smart TV, music to be integrated games, it's a completely different area. So are you going to build special forces for these kind of services in the future, or?
Yes, right now we're in kind of the strategy mode of what do we want to do first and how do we want to move forward in relation to growth. But I think basically I think the most important thing is to be open, to be able to share and to share with other partners and to hear their experiences and how they did it, and then we will move on forward. And I think that is something we really need to talk about, is that we're so grateful for the help we got from Google and all the other pay TV operators in the world working with this, because we talked to Bouygues Telecom, talked to Swisscom, we talked to a lot of the players doing this, and now we are the one who are sharing with other who wants to do this. And I think, and we're even talking to the car industry and who are thinking about playing around with Android, and we're seeing what we're doing, and I think that's a way of really learning across industries and across companies working with basically the same thing. And we're more than willing to share our experiences and what we did and how we do this, and also learn from others and what they did and how we can be better.
I assume you don't share with the direct competitors in the market, or are you really that open?
I wouldn't be afraid of sitting down together with direct competitors, talking about AndroidTV, what we did, why we did it, because really having that platform, yes, we have an advantage right now because we're in front of the rest, but I think the world is going to be a much better place, and I think we all will help each other if we go on new open ecosystems, because then the innovation speed will come along as part of it from the market as well. And I think basically that's what happened in the mobile industry. You had some of the handset vendors, they waited, right? And waited very long, too long, some of them. And the others said, okay, let's do the open ecosystems because it's so much easier to get innovation speed. And as a customer, I want to go into the store and I want to choose, hey, I want to have an Apple TV or I want to have an Android TV. I don't want to go in there and say, hey, I want something you made for yourself only for your customers.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think it's the main last sentence is better together.
Yes.
And having an open mindset. So thank you to the audience, taking care of us till this end of the day. I want to welcome on stage now Espen, and a warm thank you to you, Tonne, for your speech. Thanks a lot.